Ethan had never celebrated his birthday with his dad. Not once. Every year, it was just him and his mom, a cake from the grocery store, and a quiet dinner for two. No balloons, no party hats, just his mother's forced smile. As he turned 18, Ethan expected this year would be no different. What he didn't anticipate was that this birthday would change everything. Ethan rarely talked about his dad. If someone asked, he'd say, "He walked out when I was 5." That was the story his mom had always told him. "He left us, Ethan. He chose his life over ours." At first, it stung, then it fueled his anger, and eventually, he numbed himself to it. That's what he chose to believe. On the morning of his 18th birthday, Ethan discovered a small, white envelope on the kitchen table. It was old and yellowed at the edges, with his name scrawled in shaky, unfamiliar handwriting, "To Ethan, on your 18th birthday." There was no return address or stamp. Just that. He turned to his mom, who was washing dishes tensely. "Where did this come from?" he asked. She froze for a heartbeat too long. "I found it in the garage." "I thought you should have it," she replied, her voice tight. Ethan raised an eyebrow but remained silent. He snatched the envelope and retreated to his room. Inside was a birthday card, blue and straightforward, featuring a candle and the words, "For my son." His heart raced. He opened it slowly. Inside was a neatly folded letter, the paper worn from years of handling. He unfolded it and began to read. "Dear Ethan, if you're reading this, it means you've turned 18. And hopefully, your mother gave you this letter. I hope she did. I don't know what she's told you about me. Maybe she said I left. That I didn't care. That I disappeared. But that's not the truth. The truth is, I left to protect you." Ethan blinked, his breath catching. What was happening? He continued reading. "When you were 5, your uncle, my younger brother, got into serious trouble. He made a terrible mistake, and someone had to take the fall. He had kids, a wife, and a job that barely held them together. I was alone. I could handle it, so I confessed to a crime I didn't commit. I went to prison. I asked your mom not to tell you. I didn't want you to carry the shame. I thought I'd be out in a few years and return to you. But your mother, she cut me out. I don't blame her entirely. She was angry and scared. Maybe she believed I was guilty. I wrote to you every year. Every birthday. I never stopped thinking about you. This card, this letter, was the only one I kept. Just in case. For this moment. I don't expect you to forgive me. I want you to know that I never stopped being your father or loving you. Dad." Ethan sat on the edge of his bed, the room overwhelmingly small and quiet. He read the letter multiple times, feeling the weight behind every word. All this time, he had believed his father didn't care. He stormed downstairs, letter in hand. Coming up next. His mom looked up, startled. "You lied," he said, his voice steady. She opened her mouth but couldn't find words. "Why?" he pressed. "Why didn't you tell me the truth?" Tears welled in her eyes, but he didn't wait for an answer. He walked out the door, determined. That night, Ethan stayed at a friend's place, staring at the ceiling for hours, the echoes of his dad's words replaying in his mind, "I never stopped loving you." The next morning, he did something he had never imagined he would do. He searched for the name, Daniel Carter. His father. The internet revealed court records, mugshots, and old articles. Although the case was closed, one article stood out. New evidence clears man after 13 years behind bars. The grainy photo was unmistakable. Ethan recognized the eyes. His father had been released 3 years ago. Exonerated. Proven innocent. Free. And Ethan had never known. He clicked another link. An address appeared, a small apartment in a nearby town. Ethan hesitated momentarily, then grabbed his jacket, ready to face whatever came next. The building was quiet, boats peeling paint, and a mailbox with a faded name, D. Carter. Ethan knocked on the door. Silence greeted him. He knocked again. Finally, the door cracked open. An older and thinner man stood there, but his tired eyes mirrored his own. "Ethan," the man whispered, genuine surprise filling his voice. Ethan nodded, his heart racing. For a moment, they just stared at each other. Then Ethan held out the card. "I got your letter." His father's hands trembled as he reached for it. "I wasn't sure you'd ever read it," he said softly. Ethan's voice was steady. "I read it. Every word." They talked for hours, discussing music, life, and all their missed birthdays. When Ethan stood to leave, his father said, "I don't want to take your mother's place, but I'd like to be part of your life, if you'll allow me." Ethan nodded firmly. "You never left me," he said. "You were taken." Final voiceover, slower, reflective tone. "Some wounds don't come from violence. They come from silence. From truths left unspoken that shape who we are."